Welcome to the Home Design Mentor channel. I'm California architect Steve Randel. Have you ever seen a room that is a mystery to furnish? Hint: learn standard bed sizes to save your sanity. In episode 4 of this 6-part series, we looked at closets and bathrooms. Now it is time to tackle bedrooms and hallways. Key considerations for bedroom design are furniture placement, window design, sound insulation, reflected natural light, and critical overall dimensions. Addressing hallway design involves efficient circulation routes, distance of travel, natural light, and room organization. I bet you've inhabited a cramped bedroom at some time in your years on planet Earth. How about those cave-like hallways that lead to those cramped bedrooms? It doesn't have to be this way. We need windows, but don't tolerate windows that get in the way and frustrate you every night you go to sleep. Window size and position in bedrooms always impact how you arrange furniture, especially the bed and its nightstands. Keep a list of your furniture dimensions on hand when designing or planning any room. Furnishing a house is more critical for the bed than other furniture in your home. Beds are large and require a good amount of wall space to place them so they function well. Keep in mind that you or someone else will make up the bed every day, hopefully. Access to 3 sides of the bed is essential. The windows centered on the walls in this layout prohibit the placement of a headboard in those 2 locations. You are forced to place the bed in a less than desirable spot. In our example plan, since the wall next to the bathroom is not large enough to host 2 nightstands and a king-sized bed, you are forced to use the wall adjacent to bedroom number 2. Interior designers prefer that you look toward a bed upon entering a bedroom, as opposed to looking across the bed as you would in this alleged arrangement. A bed right against another bedroom is also problematic because if someone is making too much noise in one room, an occupant in the other room will hear the racket. Here's an example of a bedroom layout where a large window faces the rear yard of the house and the wall opposite the room's entrance serves as the headboard wall. You still have a nice window to one side of the bed to balance daylight in the room. The arrangement allows the California king-size bed and 2 generously sized nightstands on either side. Plus, there is access to make up the bed from 3 sides. The best advice is to design the room to position headboards against a wall and place nightstands immediately on one side or both sides of the bed next to the headboard. Is your door cheating on you? Hint: insist on monogamous doors. Doors are not the enemy, but you may wonder if that is true. Take the door leading into the master bedroom. Can you see the error? Based on previous episodes in this 6-part series, the multiple problems plaguing this setup should be obvious. While the angled walls waste space and feel disorienting, the worst part is the door that opens onto another door, which opens onto another door. Just changing the door swing direction into the bedroom in this configuration could help, but you still have a bathroom door concealing another one behind it. Keep doors from banging into anything else and set them to open to a 90-degree position where a proper doorstop can be placed to keep it comfortably folded open when not closed. Is your bedroom telling another bedroom what you're up to in there? Hint: learn the tricks that secure your bedroom secrets. You know you've awakened at least a few times in your life to a disturbing noise coming from an adjacent room. Touching upon an item mentioned a few moments ago, carefully consider sound transmission when designing bedroom layouts. Noisy co-inhabitants are a given. However, there are ways to create a layout that minimizes the problem. Some solutions involve designing wall and floor assemblies, the materials that compose the construction of a wall or floor, that inhibit sound transmission. These solutions tend to be expensive, difficult to construct, and inflexible. Resign yourself to be considerate of your housemates and family and opt for a handful of other easier tricks. One practical solution is positioning closets between bedrooms. Since closets fill with clothes and other tightly packed items, they can buffer sound transmission quite well. Another buffer, though not as effective because of the noise produced within them, is placing bathrooms between bedrooms. If you have a personal library, bookshelves create an amazing sound barrier, though it takes a full wall of books and shelves for the best effect. Do you remember the show Lost in Space? Hint: don't remind your house to watch it again. We all know that monsters live someplace in the walls. Guess where it is? Take a look at this triangulated wall cavity. You occasionally see voids created for architectural emphasis. In this case, the angular wall arrangement results in this peculiar waste of space. Unless the space offers an aesthetic purpose or allows a run for a mechanical system, avoid these lost in space nightmares. As mentioned before, I find rectilinear layouts minimize the possibility that you end up with odd leftover spots. Please keep in mind that I'm describing the average home that ranges between 1,500 to 2,500 square feet. Homes smaller should employ even stricter design standards for maximum efficiency. Moving up to the luxury home market is also a different set of variables, and spatial arrangements may allow for more grand features and spaces to affect the theme of its design. Is 120 inches big enough? Hint: it ain't. Find out how big you want your bedroom. I bet you stubbed your big toe on the dresser at least a few times in your enchanted life. It's part of the human experience. Or is it? Dimensions of a bedroom greatly affect the placement of furniture, as well as whether you have enough space to avoid broken toes. While spacious houses usually don't have this problem, most of us live in more modest abodes where space is efficient. However, just because a space is on the small side does not mean that it has to be too small to accommodate bedroom furniture. Some might say that if it's a child's bedroom, you can make it very small for them. I recommend not looking at it this way. Children are child size for only a few years. Eventually, they may become 6'4" adolescents bursting at the seams of your humble abode. For that reason, it is best to size bedrooms at no less than 11 feet square. Even 11 by 13 feet is far more comfortable than an 11-foot square. In our fake floor plan, bedroom number 2 and bedroom number 3 are only 10 feet wide. This space is too narrow for beds to sit on one wall and a dresser to sit on an opposing wall. The space between the furniture is the big toe danger zone. Refer to the bedrooms in this sample layout for reference. Bedroom number 2 is 11 feet wide. A queen-size bed with 2 nightstands comfortably fits across from a dresser. Rooms with less than an 11-foot dimension cannot accommodate the furniture layout shown here. The space between the bed and dresser becomes too narrow to navigate, especially in bedrooms less than 11 feet in width. Bedroom number 3 in the sample plan indicates a full-size bed and 2 nightstands. Arranged as shown, a dresser still fits to one side of the bed because the room is 11 feet wide. Does your bedroom window give you eye strain? Hint: you could offer it sunglasses, or you can minimize glare with strategic window placement. "This room is dreary," said everyone at one point in time or another. Windows and natural light make or break a mood. Daylight makes rooms feel more comfortable and influences your mood. This is another subtle trick to planning bedroom arrangements that is rarely considered. Windows often get placed dead center within the room. This position often creates glare when that single window serves for natural lighting as shown in our example floor plan. One easy solution is to place another window in the room on an adjacent wall. But if you have no place to set a second window, as most rooms are built within other rooms, what can you do? Answer: place the window toward one wall as shown in this sample plan at bedroom number 2. Light reflects off the adjacent wall, filling the room with more daylight than would be the case with a centered window. Click on the link to watch part 6 to find out how to avoid a house with a heart of darkness.